Hey guys, it is week 8 of Super Rugby AU. In this video, I'll cover the Force versus the Reds. The other Brumbies versus Waratahs video will be linked up here when it is actually out. I think it will probably be an hour after this one. I'm just trying something a little bit different to get a little bit more traction. So if you do know someone that likes Australian rugby, share this video with them. Let's get into the standings. You can see the Brumbies are at the top of the standings, but everyone else are hot on their heels. They can get to them with one win. Only the Force are really out of the competition and can't really do anything anymore. They can upset a couple of guys, and the Force can do that. You can see they have it in them to do that. Getting into this specific game, it is being played on the Gold Coast, so it is more of a Reds home game than a Force home game. So yeah, you have to take that into your calculations if you do make predictions. It is clear skies, a bit windy, but I do expect some running rugby from these two teams. The history, as always with the Force, you can't read too much into it, but you can see they do lead the standing or the history that I do have here. The last time out these two teams played, the Reds did win 31-24. The Force really gave it to them there. They pushed them pretty far. I think the Force, was it Jono Lance that missed a conversion in front of the poles, and things could have changed with that conversion. Both teams made minimal changes to their starting 15s. Most interestingly for me is Fluke coming into number 13 in the place of the injured Paisami. He's out for 2 weeks, they said, so if the Reds do go into the finals, he will be there. Fluke joins Stewart, which is a pretty small midfield combination if you do look at them. And they are up against Kahui and Godwin, who may fancy their chances of exposing an inexperienced Fluke at number 13, especially Kahui, who likes drawing in defenders and getting an offload free to a more quicker Godwin. That could expose some things for the Reds on defense. If they do get that offload free to Godwin, they have the very quick guys outside for the Force, Ralston and Lacey. They've been impressive this whole season. And then a guy called Strachan. I don't really know how you pronounce his surname, so yeah, I'll just call him that. Also announced himself last week with a man of the match performance in his first game in the AU season. So he's a guy to look out for. He joins the line really well for the team. They do face a back three who's been very dangerous so far this season. They all love searching for work all over the park. Daigunu, you can see him all over the park all through the game. Pataya, since he's came back, he's just wanted to prove why he is worth as much as the Australian Rugby Union does claim he is worth. And Campbell, he is just at his best when he is at fullback. When he joins the line, he just breaks through gaps and stuff like that more than Hegarty would for the side. Both teams have a solid 9-10 combination. I would say that James O'Connor and McDermott is probably the better combination of the two, just of proof through this season so far. The combo of Pryor and Lance probably could do better. There's just been disrupted a bit through injuries to Pryor in this season. So I do think both have it in them to really take on the other team in this one, especially Lance and O'Connor. They are similar type of number 10s, and I am excited to see that one. Getting to the forwards, the Force brought in Reddy to play against his previous team, and it's one of quite a few Queenslanders in the team for the Force. He joins Longbottom and Cowan in a very experienced front row who's been causing problems for opposition so far this season. The Reds, they made no changes to a brilliant pack so far this season. Tupou, he's been brilliant so far, just at scrum time, doing his thing. He's just so much better when he just scrums in straight, which the commentators never makes you forget, by the way. And Paenga Amosa, he's becoming an attacking threat for the Reds. The second row, Atkins comes in for the Force. They, along with Reddy, would have some pressure on them to perform at line-out time. Since last week, a lot of their problems were caused by their line-out. That's why they probably did not get the margin they should have gotten there. They lost pretty far, so the line-out time was an issue for them. The Reds, their lineout has issues as well. It's not the best one in the competition, so the Force might feel in this game they have even competition. But the work rate of these two locks for the Reds are second to none in their team, Blythe and Salakaya Lotto. The loose forwards, Lee Warner goes from the lock to the flanker. He does play more like a flanker anyway for his team. He just always runs with the ball. He's always one of the top tacklers, so he plays like a flanker. And he joins 6 loose forwards from both sides that play very similar to him. So I think it's going to be an interesting battle in the loose forwards. There's some changes for both teams on the benches. Experienced hooker Tesman comes in for the Force. Heiberg, he's been great so far from the bench this season. Frisbee is also an ex-Red player who would want to speed up the game when he does come onto the field. While Taefu, he's one of those strong tackle busters coming onto the field. Another guy that might put some pressure on Fluke if he doesn't have a great game this weekend. Reds welcome back Woopert, who is back for them, and also Nasser comes in for their reserve hooker replacement. You know they have pressure at their lineout, so he comes in. Sorovi gets his first game time in the Super Rugby AU if he does come on, and a guy to look out for the Reds is Scott Young. At the end of the day, a win here would mean a lot for the Reds. They would go temporarily top of the log. And with a bye next weekend and then the Brumbies before going into the finals, the Brumbies would be the final game of the competition. This is an important game for them. Yes, they had a massive loss to the Waratahs, but they turned things around with quite a good performance against the Rebels. The Force, they're not an easy team to beat, yet they do lose a lot. They aren't an easy rollover side. The Reds, for me, they are playing at home, more or less, so I would say the Reds by 10. Guys, let me know your prediction for this game down in the comments below. If you want to check out the other predictions for this weekend, check it out here. Otherwise, you can find it in the comments below. Cheers.